So what are you guys doing then to try to get rid of a lot of the segregation and independence that a lot of these people, I mean, obviously your goal is to have people collaborate and work together as a group. You know, how can we get these people with these different ideologies and reasons for doing whatever project it is they're doing to work together regardless of what their plans or ideologies are?
Yeah, ideology is a tough one, and it's certainly there are a number of people that say that NewSpace is not about flags and footprints, which is a national identity in space. Certainly NewSpace needs to be about commercial endeavors. And as we look out on the solar system, the people of Earth are the indigenous population of our solar system. And so the resources of the solar system are out there for the benefit of everyone on this planet. And I think everybody, the different states and nations, can look to the solar system for the perhaps limited resources, for additional resources, for new resources that aren't available on Earth. There's a great book by Harrison Schmitt about, say, lunar mining of helium-3. Whether that's going to come to fruition or not is to be determined. But helium-3 is a unique isotope that exists exists elsewhere in the solar system, but can exist in abundance on the moon, doesn't exist in abundance on the surface of the Earth. So you can look at these elements and say, here's something that we can use for mankind. Here's something that we can use for people of Earth that is available outside of our immediate sphere of influence on the Earth. As far as politics goes, space is a great place for people to work together, and I think you've seen that on the International Space Station, where different countries come together and they put aside their political differences in order to further the advancement of mankind. And our destiny, whether it's this century or the next century, is in the exploration of our solar system. Assuming that something tragic doesn't happen on the planet, you can go back and look at the Carl Sagan Cosmos series, and people were very much concerned about that. We're less concerned about that today, but the destiny of the people of our planet is to get off the globe and get off of Earth and explore the rest of the solar system, which is what we're doing today, and I imagine what we're going to be doing in the centuries ahead.
So what do you think is the most important thing that people need to know about the Silicon Valley Space Center?
Well, that we're here in the Bay Area and that we're working on connecting entrepreneurs into NewSpace. We have a monthly small payload. This year we have a monthly small payload talk series that's focused on entrepreneurs and small payload opportunities in the NewSpace area. It's a talk series that we do at the Hacker Dojo in partnership with the AIAA chapter of San Francisco, and we just bring in a variety of speakers. This year we're focused on small payloads, but we're really focused, or my contribution is always on bringing entrepreneurs in and getting them to talk about their projects and getting people to think that it's not just government programs and big defense companies that can participate in space, but that small groups of people, small groups of individuals, and entrepreneurs. Silicon Valley is known for entrepreneurial activity. And what we need to do in NewSpace is get entrepreneurship engaged in the new space industry. And you see that down in Mojave with Maston Space Systems and X-Core and even Burt Rutan and what's developed into Virgin Galactic. But we need more of that, and there's a lot of opportunities for entrepreneurs to think about where can I add value in a supply chain, where is a new product that I can offer that's not being offered, how can I think differently about the space industry and what's possible. And I think that's what we're seeing. This is what you see in the Google Lunar X Prize. We have a great talk that we orchestrated here at the MIT Stanford Venture Lab in September of 2011. And it was taking an idea from Bob Richards about economic development zones. And what Bob will say is, let's think about economic development zones as a distance from the Earth. So we have suborbital economic development zones, orbital economic development zones, and lunar economic development zones. They're geostationary as well. And all of those we had a number of speakers from Virgin Galactic, from NanoRacks, from L'Oreal, from Moon Express, talking about what they see as those opportunities. And the thing is that all of those economic development zones are developing simultaneously. We see all of those areas playing themselves out, and that's what we see today at the NewSpace conference. All of those areas are pushing forward, and they will continue to push forward over the next decade. And Silicon Valley Space Center is about broadcasting that message to entrepreneurs, and then I would say also to angel and venture capital communities, because when you combine entrepreneurs with opportunities, with funding, then you really can develop an economy that pushes forward with next generation technology to make things happen over the next decade and beyond.